Hello, everyone. I'm going to continue where I left off on the last episode when I talked about, sinners. You know, it brought something to my mind. The last episode brought something to my mind that I've wanted to say for a while. And sorry, my voice is kind of, hoarse. I think I just finished the last episode. I decided to add this one to it. I've been talking a lot these days, so my voice is kind of getting hoarse, because of the podcast. But let's get to it. You know what I realized? Evil people are always miserable, right? And it shows in almost every movie you've watched, right? Every story you've read, every story whatsoever you've read. What do you notice about the evil people in that story and the good people in that story? The good people in that story always have positive mindset. They always have a positive view of life. They have a positive view of the people around them. They're people who never give up. They're people who always, they always have a positive outlook on life. They're people who never back down, They have strong determinations. They have a strong fighting spirit. They never give up. They're always positive. They always love life. They always look for the good things in life to appreciate, in life. They always try to be content with their lives. They always find ways to, every time they fall, every time they fail, they always get back up again with a positive attitude, with a better outlook on life. There's some variations to that mindset, but the good guys always have a positive mindset. They're always the determined people. They're people who never give up, who never surrender, who do not have a jaded mindset of the world. They do not see the world as an evil place where everyone is evil. They always have that one or two people that they think is, at least a good person, that they need to protect, that they need to live for. They always have a positive view of the world. And the equal and opposite of that are the evil ones. The evil people always have a negative view of everyone. They have a negative view of themselves. They have a negative view of their families, their friends and family members. They have a negative view of the world in general. They're always complaining about this. They're always complaining about that. They're always the one who gives up, and then, they give up, right? And then they blame everyone else for it. They give up too quickly when they fail, and then they blame everyone else for it. When the hero gives up, it stands back up again. When the heroes of a story give up, they always stand back up. Every time the hero of a story fail, they always stand back up. They never give up. They always stand back up every time they fail. They have a strong, determined mindset. They can never be corrupted. Evil people can never, rarely ever are capable of corrupting the good people in a story, the heroes in a story. They never fall, they never bow down to evil. That's the common trait of the people in stories, The heroes and heroines in stories always have a determined, uncorruptible mindset. While the villain are the most corruptible villains you can ever find. They hate the world, they hate themselves, they hate everything. They're always looking for someone to blame. They never take responsibility for their actions. They're blaming their parents, they're blaming their family members, they're blaming the hero, they're blaming the hero's friends and family. They're always looking for someone to blame. They never take responsibility for their own actions. It's always somebody else's fault. They blame the whole world for their problems. This is the mindset of a villain. A villain never takes responsibility for their actions. They're always blaming someone else. It's easy to blame someone else. It's hard to take responsibility for your own actions. This is why the villains are always depressed. They have a jaded view of the world. They have a jaded mindset. Because they have a jaded mindset, they're always doing cruel things to everyone. They're always looking for someone to blame. because they're always blaming others. They're always trying to harm others. They messed up, but instead of accepting that they messed up, why would they accept that when they can blame you? Why should they accept the fact that they're the ones who are making mistakes? They are the common denominator in their lives. If their life is a mess, they are the ones that are controlling their choices. They made their life a mess. Why would they accept the fact that they're the ones who are making mistakes when they can blame you or they can blame everyone else around them? It makes no logical sense for them to man up, to grow up, and take responsibility for their actions. It's better for them to blame everyone else, blame the world, than blame themselves. This is why they're always out trying to harm everyone around them, because they will never take responsibility for their own actions. It's always somebody else's fault. It is always somebody else's fault. Their choices, when their bad choices, their evil choices backfire on them, instead of saying, yes, I made an evil choice, I sinned, it's my fault. Nope. Why would they do that? When they can blame others for their crimes. When it's easier to blame others, you look like a perfect person. When you blame others, in your eyes, you're a perfect person. You never made any mistakes. It's other people that are making mistakes, not you. Other people are to blame for your mistakes. So in your eyes, in the eyes of an evil villain, they've done nothing wrong. It is always the other people who are always doing evil things. They themselves do nothing wrong. That's why they're evil villains. They never take responsibility for their actions. They're always looking for someone to blame for their actions. They always have a demented and jaded mindset of the world. And think about it. The world and God are synonymous. God is what? Omnipresent, right? If God is omnipresent, God is everything. Every time an evil villain, whether in a story or in real life, blames the world for their problems, you're blaming God. Every time an evil villain curses the world is useless, evil, and stupid. Guess what? They are cursing God as evil, useless, and stupid. Do you really think God will reward them for, abusing him? Do you really think God will reward them for abusing God? Every time you insult the world as worthless, you're insulting God as worthless. Every time you say, the world is a useless place, you're saying God is useless. Every time you curse out the world as hopeless, stupid, pointless, retarded, any word you use to curse out the world, you are by default insulting God himself, because God is the world around you. God created the world using his own body. You're living inside God. So every time you curse, you look down on the world, you're looking down on God. You're looking down on yourself, because God is also you. How can you be happy when you look down on yourself? You just can't. God is you as well. So every time you insult the world, you're insulting yourself, because the world, you're also a part of the world. You're also a part of God. God is omnipresent. So do you think God will reward you, a sinner, for constantly insulting him? Mockery is a sin. Insults are sins. Why do you think an evil villain will ever be happy in life when all they do is insult God all day? Do you really think God will reward someone who's always insulting everyone around them with happiness? Who's always blaming everyone around them for their bad choices with happiness and joy? Do you think, the life of a villain who only knows how to blame everyone around them, who only knows how to harm everyone around them, when he's the one at fault? Should that person get a free pass just because he's sad? He made himself sad. He decided the world was worthless. If the world is worthless, right, and he is part of the world, that means he is worthless as well. So when he has a low self-worth like that, when he starts to look down on the world, you're looking down on yourself. You're looking down on God and you're looking down on yourself. because you're always part of the world. You will always be part of the world. So he made himself depressed because he looked down on the world and by default looked down on himself. Do not blame God for your own actions. If you're a sinner, do not blame the world for your actions. It's your fault. Your bad choices led to the consequences of your actions, led to where you are today. If you're a depressed person, it's by choice. You made choices in life that brought you to where you are today. No matter where you go in life, you always take yourself with you. You can run away from your family and friends right now, but guess what? Your family and friends weren't the ones who brought this problem to your doorstep. You, as the evil villain, you must change. You take that evil villain mindset with you wherever you go. You are the problem. You are the common denominator in your life. Wherever you go, you can run away from your friends and family now, right? You can run away from all the crimes you committed. But guess what? If you move to a different state or move to a different country, you will still be the same you when that you ran away from. You take you wherever you go. So if you're an evil person in the United States, right? You move to Canada, you'll be an evil person in Canada. You take you wherever you go. If you can't stop blaming others for your actions, you blame America for your actions, You blame America for all the problems in life, right? When the truth is you are the one that causes your problems. You're the ones that cause all the problems in your life. You have a demented mindset, a jaded mindset, an evil mindset, a negative mindset of the world. You have a negative mindset of God. So when you move to Canada, guess what? You'll realize it's the same problem. You somehow, created a massive loop when you ended up right back at the very beginning again. You ran all the way from the United States because the United States is X and Y. It's evil. Everyone here is evil. Everyone here is stupid and retarded. Everyone. Remember, God is everyone. So every time you curse out everyone, you're cursing at God. You're making fun of God. You're insulting God. Because God is everyone. So when you say everyone in the United States is useless and trash, you're saying God is useless and trash. Do not insult God if you want to live a good life. Never insult God if you ever want to live a good life. So you move out of the United States to Canada. And then you realize that, hey, after a year of staying there, you slowly start to realize that the problems are still there. Why? Because you are the problem. You carry the problem with you. Wherever you go in this country or in this world, if you can't fix yourself, you carry the problems in your life with you. Because the problems in your life are self-caused problems. You have a demented mindset of the world. You have a demented mindset of God. And you have a demented mindset of yourself. If you have a low self-worth, no matter where you go, you will never be happy in life. And you can't have a high self-worth by looking down on God, by looking down on everyone, by looking down on the world. As long as you look down on the world, you're by default looking down on yourself. And how can you ever be happy in life? Don't you wonder why all these villains are evil? Don't you wonder why all these villains are always depressed? They have an evil mindset. So no matter where they go, they will always ruin everyone's life wherever they go. Because the problem isn't the world. The problem is them. They look down on the world. They look down on the main characters. They look down on everyone. They never see the good in life. They don't have a positive mindset. They don't see the good outcomes, that'll come for them. They don't see the positive things that happen in their lives. They ignore all the positive things that happen in their lives and only focus on all the negative things instead. There are good things that happen in your life and bad things, right? This life, no, you're not a perfect person. You make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Sorry. I had to cough. Everyone makes mistakes in life. No one is a perfect person. You don't have to be perfect. So when bad things happen to you, you just have to accept that yes, bad things happen, but good things also happen to you as well. Well, an evil person never sees the good things in life. They always focus on all the negative aspects of life and never focus on any of the positive things that God has given them. They do not see all the good things that God has given them because they don't want to look for it. They already have a jaded mindset. They already have an evil mindset. The world is an evil place, but the world is only an evil place because they believe it is. Not because the world is an evil place. It's because they are evil people. The world is a reflection of your own mind. If you're an evil person, you'll see the world as an evil place. If you're a good person, you will see the world as a good place. That's the difference in people. The people who go to heaven see the world as a good place. See the world that God has given them. This great world that God has given them as a perfect and peaceful place. Yes, bad things happen, but bad things happen to everyone. We move on in life. We learn to accept the changes of life and move on. No one is perfect. God will reward you for never giving up. Do not give up on God. Do not give up on this world. And God will never give up on you. On your happiness. God will find ways to make you happier. As long as you have a positive mindset, God will bring more positive things to your life. God will be kinder to you. People will help you more. You will make better friends. But you must first have a positive mindset of the world. When you have a positive mindset of the world will help you far more than when you have a negative mindset. Even in a negative mindset, God is always there telling you to turn back now. Turn back now. There's still good things in this world. Turn back now. The world is not all evil. There are good people out here. There are good things out here. There's so many good experiences out here. Stop looking down on the world and stop looking down on yourself. You're not that bad of a person. Life gets better. You can make better choices. Change your mindset of the world. Have a more positive mindset of the world. And the world will help you far more than it will help you when you have a negative mindset of it. Because how can the world help you? How can God help you when you ignore his help? Think about it. As a negative person as a person with a negative mindset, every time God tries to help you, you will ignore it. Why? Because you already have a demented view of the world itself. Since you already have a demented view of the world, a negative view of the world, you will ignore all the good things in life. You will think them as trash, as worthless. How can God help you when every time God tries to help you, you think he's trash? You call him worthless. All the good things he brings to your doorstep, you look down on it. You treat it like garbage. Where can God help you? He's already doing his best. You are the problem. God is right there by your side, trying to change you on a daily basis, but you keep ignoring God. You as an evil person, not you personally, I'm just saying you in general. You as an evil person keep ignoring all the good things that God is trying to bring to your doorstep. It's trying to make you pay attention to. You keep ignoring them. And you keep focusing on all the bad things in life, all the evil things in life. How can God help you when you're ignoring God? How can God help you when you keep mocking God and insulting God? The world is useless, trash, worthless, stupid. Every time you cuss out the world, you are cussing out God. You are cursing God verbally. How can God help you when you look down on everything that God is giving you and God is trying to give you on a daily basis? The problem isn't God not helping you. The problem is you. You don't like the world. Not because the world is bad for you, but because you keep blaming everyone else for your problems. It's not the world's fault. No one is perfect, and no one is living a perfect life. Everyone has problems in life, but yet the good people, the people enjoying their lives, go with the flow. They roll with the punches. Every time they fail, they get back up again. This is why God always rewards them, because they accept God's reward. You ignore God's reward while they accept it. That's the difference between the two of you. When God brings, a reward to your doorstep, you ignore it. You call it trash. You call the world trash. So how can you accept a reward that you think is worthless? You never will. So if you're someone with a demented mindset, a jaded mindset, just know that you're the evil villain. The world is not an evil place. If you believe the world is an evil place, the problem isn't the world. The problem is you. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.